Welcome, everybody, to our Angel Healing Circle. This is a monthly event that I host. Oh, wonderful. People are from all over the world. This is fabulous. So, thank you so much for being here. In our Angel Healing Circle, we're using primarily the meditations, not all of them, but some of them at different times from the Hollow Bone of Healing, and applying them in different ways to help you open, heal, and activate aspects of your soul's purpose that you are ready for and help you to access higher realms of consciousness. These are not the same teachings that I do or that we do in the Healing Angel Protocol. I think of them as an enhancement, but they're also kind of a beginner level status, if you will. So we are working with baby steps to go forward into our higher realms of consciousness. I think you'll really enjoy this, and thank you so much for being here. Today's topic is flower activation. And at the beginning of the year, I sit down with the angels and I say, okay, just give me the topics. Just tell me what we're covering every month because it makes it so much easier to have it all organized. And so when they got to May and they said, okay, we're going to do a flower activation, I went, flower activation? Really? And they said, yeah. And I was like, well, okay, yeah, I'm with you on that one. We'll see what happens. And it's always they always wait until like the hour before I really know what we're going to be doing. But hey, it's always perfect. And to tell you just how perfect it is, of course, we're getting ready for a lunar eclipse, right? On Sunday night, at least here in the East Coast of North America. Sunday night, we'll be able to see that. And this is also known as the flower moon. So I'm like, oh my goodness, we're getting activated all over the place through the cosmos, through the energies of everything that's going on. I just thought that was no accident. Thank you very much, angels. All right. So, a flower activation, let me explain to you how the angels view this. Every sentient being or every living thing has a spirit, right? So, flowers, all flowers have a spirit. Even rocks have a spirit because, believe it or not, rocks do grow. They change, they transform their shape. It might take thousands of years, but they still, and they can procreate, right? Rocks can make new rocks and babies, believe it or not. But that's not tonight. Today's flowers. And of course, flowers are just obvious that would have a spirit. It's very obvious that flowers are life forms, right? You see them as their seed, you see them as they grow, you harvest them if that's what you're into or not, or maybe you just admire them. So with flowers, it's easy to utilize them as activators for whatever we need, whether we need to open up more to our senses and the way that we communicate with the divine, whether we need healing in whatever aspect of our life, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or maybe we're ready for a certain step on our soul's path and we just need a little inspiration in order to take that step forward. And that's what we call the activation. And so flowers actually do any and all of those things. And when we're working with a spirit of flowers, um, at first it may just be more like like it was with me. It was more of a knowing. I knew, as I said in my email to you, I knew that I needed to work more with dandelion root. I didn't know why. I just was getting that message loudly and clearly. So, as Leon, my partner, was trimming off the leaves to collect them for steaming and ingesting, because we love dandelion leaves, I kept saying, we need to dig up some of these roots. I mean, we've got a lot of dandelions, so it's not like we would be limiting ourselves in any way. And he's like, I don't know. Maybe we should wait until fall. Isn't fall a better time for that? And I'm like, I don't know. I just really get that we need to start gathering some roots and drying the roots. I didn't know why. But here's the thing. Flowers and plants have so many healing benefits on a physical level, an emotional level, a mental level, a spiritual level, and metaphysical level that you can find all that information on the internet. So when I started researching dandelion root, I'm like, well, no wonder. I mean, it's a great tonic for springtime, and here in North America, it's springtime. So all the flowers are starting to bud and grow, blow and whatever they do. And some will bloom all year, well, until the frost comes. And then some will only bloom for like a short amount of time. And that has meaning for you as well. But dandelion is something you can see for, the yellow flowers will last for a while and then they transform into seeds that then grow for next year, right? But the roots do more healing than that. And when I was looking on the internet and reading more about it, it was like, oh my gosh. So it's a tonic for the kidneys and the bladder and the liver, and which is perfect for following winter time when we tend to be a little more stagnant. We need something to kind of flush out our system. And it really helps with raising our lymph and moving our lymph through our system. It helps with certain vitamins and minerals. And then I started reading about all these other benefits. And I'd been asking to only work with really high consciousness herbs because I've been experimenting with salves and lotions and teas and all kinds of medicinals, but I wanted to be able to learn how to use this on a daily basis for medicine because I believe that we can go back to the old ways many times and not have to rely on pharmaceuticals. There is a time and a place for that, but maybe not on a daily basis if there are other things that would help us more. And so that's what I was asking to work with, was really high consciousness herbs. Well, dandelion, my gosh, it's anti-cancer, it's antifungal, it's antiviral. The list just went on. And these are proven through scientific studies that it's been known to eliminate cancer. It's been known to eliminate leukemia, HIV, herpes. The list went on. And I thought, oh, okay, I have found a very high consciousness herb here just by asking, right? So this is one way that we can activate just by asking the question. I want to work with more herbs, or I want to work with more plants that will help me with whatever it is you want help with. And if you are used to working with angels and spirit helpers, they'll find a way to bring you that information. But what we're going to do today is a little bit faster than that. And I really like how it's going to happen because we're utilizing meditations that I know work because I've been doing these meditations with people for the last 3 years. Since I wrote the book, I have learned so much about these meditations, in particular, that if you start in that loving state, and if you did nothing else but stay in that loving state, that's the very first meditation that we do, and it's the very first of every meditation that I do. But if you did nothing else but that, it's going to change your life. Because that's what I'm seeing with people. That alone, being in that state of love, is enough to change your life. We are going to take it a little step farther because there is more that we can do in order to really activate with flowers today. But that alone, I just really want to encourage you. And of course, this will all be recorded and I'll be guiding you there. And we're going to take our time and really get into that loving space because it's powerful. And especially in this field of energy, right? Where we're not just alone in this, right? Whenever two or more are gathered, then the power of what we are creating becomes infinite, right? So we're going to start from that state of love. And then once we're in that state of love, we're going to invite in a helper, a flower spirit helper of the highest and best. And of course, all flowers are of the highest and best. And how do I know this? Well, this is what the angels have told me, but they also have indicated to me that flowers and plants and animals are really more of a fourth dimensional energy because they're all about the heart. They all operate from the heart. They all work with the heart and they heal. They open, they heal, they activate. So anything that works on that level is high consciousness. That's all we have time to work with. We don't have time to work with everybody else. There's too much energy in this 3D planet to play with it all. So let's go for the highest and best. So we're going to ask for a high consciousness flower spirit helper to come in. And here's the thing. When it comes in, the first thing you're going to notice, if you are very open, you will feel or sense or know a loving wave of energy that goes heart to heart from the spirit of that plant to your heart. This is like your confirmation that you are working with a really high level energy. And it's palpable. I mean, you can feel it, you can sense it, you can know it. There are different ways to sense it. If you're really like into Auditory things, you may hear a voice, or you may hear a tone or a frequency, or you may smell the fragrance, or you may see a color or a form, or the actual plant. There are so many ways that our senses can be operating here. So that wave of love is like the initial thing to kind of give you that safety feeling, and then just open up all of your senses so that you can really confirm who it is that you're working with. It's okay if you don't know at first, because the message will come. Believe me, the message will come. It always comes. But when we're first opening to all of our senses, we don't want to miss anything. So you want to be aware of, what are you smelling? What are you hearing? What are you seeing? What do you feel? What do you know? And don't discount that one, because that's really, really important. That knowing without knowing how you know, it's kind of hard to prove at first, but it's always right on. It's the most accurate sense that we have once we know how to work with it. So we're asking for this high level spirit helper to come in. We're going to sense the presence and allow ourselves to receive whatever we need to receive. Now here's the thing, because flowers and plants can work on that energy level with us, you may receive absolutely everything you need from this meditation. You may not need to go out and purchase a plant or dig up a plant or go find a picture of a plant. That's all good too. But you may just receive absolutely everything you need from this meditation, whether you know it or not, right? You may just feel better. You may feel a sense of peace. You may feel a sense of, oh yeah, okay, I'm ready for whatever that is. Or you may feel healing. You may have some angel tears that come out. Or you may be feeling like, I need more information. Kind of like where I was. I need more information on dandelion root here. And it's all readily available online, freely available. So do your research afterwards to find out, why did this spirit come to you, right? And then if you decide to pursue it further than a meditation, see what you are feeling guided to use, whether you are digging up a plant like a dandelion, or maybe you're drying or preserving a plant. Maybe you're making a tea out of something. Maybe you're baking with it. Maybe you're making a pie with it, or a cake, or putting it into your food in some way. You just see how you are drawn to utilizing it. And it may not even be that. It may be just getting a picture of it. And looking at that picture can give you just exactly what you need, right? Maybe you need to go out and find that in a greenhouse someplace and purchase the actual plant so that you can really connect with it on a daily basis. There are so many ways you can continue to work with this plant spirit. So it's kind of a gift that keeps on giving. I mean, we're starting with a meditation which may give you everything, but then there's so much more. There's so much more to discover about it, and so many more places to go with it to see what it does for you. So I know I talk really fast, but gosh, I just didn't want to forget anything. Well, it's just coming through really fast too. So we're going to together get into a loving state of energy. I'll be guiding every step of the way. We're going to ask for a plant spirit to come in, plant spirit of the highest and the best to come in on behalf of you. You're going to feel that loving, or sense or know that loving wave of energy. Open up all of your senses to whatever and however you need to experience this plant, whether you know it, see it, hear it, sense it, smell it, whatever. Receive what you need to receive. And then at that point, I'll bring you back. And at that point, some of you may just want to stay in your really happy place in your meditation and not talk to anybody. And I respect that totally. So I'll give you a heads up that in just a minute, I'm going to open this up for sharing. And if you don't want to share, then you could leave the meeting at that time. But if you do want to share, what I find is it really helps people. You know, people hear each other sharing, and then it's like, oh yeah, I forgot that happened in mine too. Or sometimes it's oh, I didn't realize that's what that was all about. Or, you know, it can just inspire us, or it can help us. So there's two ways to share. You can put something in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and just share your experience. And the reason you might want to share is because it makes it stronger, more powerful for you. And also it helps others. And it just, I don't know, there's something about that sharing that just makes it more real. It makes it more real, especially if you're new to this, right? So, okay, questions. You can put any questions in the chat, or you can unmute yourself, or you can raise a hand. There's a way to raise a hand. It's under reactions at the bottom of your screen. And I'm here to help before we get started. I don't want you to be confused before we get started. So let me know if there's anything that wasn't clear. I think you'll really like this meditation. It's powerful. Well, all the hollow bone of healing meditations are powerful, but this one's fun too, right? Okay, I'm not seeing any questions. I'm not seeing any hands. I don't hear anybody unmuting and asking. So, all right, we are going to get started. So I always, as you can see, I talk with my hands, so I don't want to be a distraction. I'm just going to lead this from having my video off, but it's all being recorded, and everybody who registered for this will be receiving a copy of the recording. Thank you so much for being here live. It really helps to have a live audience to talk to, and I'm so excited to help you see what will open, heal, and activate for you as we work with the plant spirits today. Just allow yourself to get really comfortable wherever you are. You can lie down if you'd like, or you can recline, or you can sit. Some people like to sit cross-legged in a lotus position, and others like to sit with their feet on the floor and in a chair. So whatever, just make it comfortable for you, because we might be here for a while in this position, and you don't want to get uncomfortable because that takes you away from your meditation. And so just allow your breathing to become slow and rhythmic at a rate that works for you. And make every inhale just as long and as slow as every exhale. And as you slow your breathing just a bit, not to the point where it's being forced, but just to the point where it's a little slower, what you're doing is signaling your body for transformation and change through meditation. And the effect of this is that your heart rate slows down and your brain waves slow down and your neurological waves slow down. And for our purposes with meditation, all those rates being slower actually help you to heal at a DNA level. It's one of the side benefits of meditation. So just allow that breathing then to relax into the rhythm that works for you, and be present in this moment now. I invite you to begin remembering any experiences you might have had with unconditional love, which is the love that doesn't have strings or attachments to anything. It's the love that just gives freely. Here, you need some love? Have some love. Here, I love you no matter what. And sometimes we've been lucky enough to have an experience with a person in which we have felt that unconditional love. Maybe a parent or a grandparent, a partner or a spouse, child, best friend? And if so, just put those and hold those memories in your heart of those very relationships that gave you so much love, no matter what. And many times we have this connection, this loving connection with our beloved animals, both our pets or the domesticated animals that we've known and that have come to us, that have enriched our lives so much, and they just love us no matter what. And we can also have that experience with wild animals, that heart-to-heart connection that just doesn't always happen, but when it does, it's magic. And so if you have those experiences, just put those in your heart and hold them there. And sometimes we actually have that experience in nature where we just feel so connected to all life. The trees and the flowers and the birds and the animals, even the soil and the water and the air. You just know we're all one life. And if you've had that experience, just hold that in your heart. It's also possible that maybe you're just having a really hard day. And even if you had those experiences, you just can't really pull them up today. And so sometimes just saying the words love and gratitude over and over again is enough to lull your mind so that it stops worrying about that. And it allows your heart to open up to it. Because love is where we have come from, and love is what we go back to. So there's a part of us that recognizes it. Whether or not we can sense it today is another story. And as you allow yourself to feel that love to the best of your ability or generate it through your words, being in that loving state is the most important thing you can do right now. So just allow for that and know that what happens when we begin generating that love in our heart with our memories and our words, more and more love just kind of floods into our field. Love attracts more love. So you may get to feeling that your heart is just filling to overflowing with love. Or maybe you just know that. Maybe you intend that. And when that happens, love is actually overflowing your heart, and it's moving all the way through your physical body. And you can think of it like filling up a glass with water, where it's starting at the bottoms of your feet and filling you all the way up to the top. But for some of you, you may also have a sense or a knowing that the love really moves to different places very quickly, wherever you need it the most, and then fills in. So however it appears for you, Every cell in your body is receiving this love. So just allow that, and allow the healing that happens with love. And it doesn't take very long. So at some point, your entire body is filled with love, and then that love spills over into your energy field. And for our purposes, we use 4 layers just to delineate the energy layers. So we start with the one that's closest to your physical body, which is your physical energetic layer. And that's filling up with love. And this is where we hold the memories of our physical experiences from this lifetime. So as this layer is filling with love, all those experiences are receiving love, which initiates more healing. And it's not necessary to know what is being healed or how it's being healed. It's just enough to know that. Because healing can happen in the blink of an eye or faster. And then we can't even remember why we needed it. So as this layer slowly fills to overflowing with love, that love spills over into the emotional layer. This energy layer that holds all of our emotions. Now they're all valid, even the ones we've been told, oh, good girls shouldn't feel this way or good boys shouldn't feel that way. That's just a belief system. All emotions are valid. They all teach us something. And they're all receiving love right now. As you're allowing yourself to receive that healing. This layer slowly fills to overflowing with love. And then the love moves into your mental layer, the place of our belief systems. Those that we have created from this lifetime, those that we brought in from our past lives, and those that our ancestors gave us in our DNA. Some work better for us than others, but they're all being given love. And then, in the way of healing, if we don't need those belief systems, if they're not working for us, that healing just helps them to create something better for us, removing what doesn't work and transforming into higher and better belief systems. And again, it's not necessary to know right now what that is. It's enough to know that it is happening. As this layer slowly fills to overflowing with love, that love moves into our largest energy layer that we're working with, which really encompasses all kinds of things. It's called your spiritual layer. And it's the place of your soul purpose throughout all lifetimes, not just this one. Because we tend to hold the same purpose over and over again so we can get better at it. And this spiritual layer is also the record of all of your past lives, it's all tied in with your soul purpose. And it's a record of all your ancestors' lifetimes, which is tied in with your soul purpose in some way, and your soul family. So it's a pretty big layer, and there's a lot going on in here, but it's all being filled with love. Every one of those things that I mentioned is being touched with love, initiating more healing, and maybe some activation for whatever you might be ready for. And as this layer fills to the top, we are now completely enclosed in a sphere of energy that is pure love. Now, some of you might be seeing it like in colors, or maybe an iridescent thing, or maybe there's a different shape that you're seeing within that sphere. Some of you might be hearing tones or frequencies associated with this. Others of you might have a sense or a knowing about your sphere. But really allow yourself to feel it and to be present with it. Because if you did nothing else but this meditation right here is enough to change your life. We're just going to take it a little further. Now you are in a sphere of love, really high consciousness love, because that's what we just carefully built for ourselves and remembered. And from this place, we are inviting in a high consciousness plant spirit that is going to be here to help us in some way. Now, don't overthink it. Just stay in your heart, stay in that field of love, and allow yourself to receive love from your helper before you even recognize who or what it might look like or what it is. Just feel the love from your helper first. Feel it, sense it, know it. This is the initial communication between high consciousness beings, and you are one. So allow yourself to take that in and kind of feel it, sense it, know it. And when you're ready, just send love back to your helper. And know that it's being gratefully received. And what you're doing is establishing a communication between you without words. It's a loving wave of energy that has a communication all by itself. The words will come later. Don't worry about the words. Just feel it for now. Sense it. Know it. Intend it. And then begin to open all of your senses so you don't mistake a thing. Opening that inner eyesight. Are you seeing any colors or shapes, forms? Opening your inner ears. Are you hearing a voice, a tone, a frequency? Opening your sense of smell. Are you noticing a fragrance that you can identify or one that you can't? Opening up your skin receptors. What are you feeling with your skin? Opening up your sense of knowing. What do you already recognize about your helper? And if you don't feel like you're getting anything yet, don't stress it. Just sit there in your heart with that wave of loving energy back and forth. You're getting everything you need just from that. The brain does not need to confirm anything because your heart is receiving everything. So just allow. And I'll be really quiet for the next few minutes so that you can really receive whatever you are meant to receive. Now, you may not have any words for what just transpired because energy can be like that. It sometimes is hard to define. The words will come later, the understanding will come later. For now, you've opened up a doorway to higher consciousness that maybe you didn't even know existed or existed in this way. And that may be the whole reason you're here today. Or maybe there's more. So just allow it to be what it is for you for right now. And allow yourself to continue staying in that loving state of energy, knowing you'll continue to receive as long as you need that. Maybe even way after we're done here. You may have dreams. Maybe tomorrow's meditation will bring up more information. Maybe a friend will say something that kind of triggers it, or reading something in a book, or hearing it on the radio, whatever. So just allow. What you've done is created a relationship with our spirit helpers, very specific spirit helpers. So in just a minute, I'm going to be inviting some sharing for those of you that are complete. And if you would like to continue staying in your beautiful place, then I invite you to leave the meeting at this time and you'll receive the recording so you can listen to the sharing at another time if you'd like. Feeling, if you're on still, you can feel your energy start to come back and your awareness start to come back into your body. Because believe it or not, you've been out there pretty far with your consciousness and your energy. And so it's kind of like, all right, let's gather this all up and bring it back into your body where it can begin to make more sense to you. Feeling that energy grounding you in your body. When you are back, if you'd like, you can either unmute yourself and share, or you can put something in the chat if you would like to share.
Hi, I'll share. My
Thank
name's
you.
Karen.
Look at those flowers behind you. How beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, I love working with flowers, but today was different because today I worked with a plant. And it was just, I was like in my mind, which tries to control things. I was thinking, I'm going to connect with this plant. And then as soon as I closed my eyes, I have like a snake plant that's on a different floor. It's very big. It's the one that wanted to connect with me. So it was just like, it just happened so quickly
Yeah.
that I just saw this snake plant. And then she was sending so much loving energy to me. And I was trying to connect quickly. And she just, nope, more energy, more energy. She just kept sending me more and more love. So I was just letting myself receive it. I was trying to send it back to her. And she's like, nope, nope, I'm sending you more.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I'm always a little impatient. So I'm like, can I have a message, please? And she's like, you need more patience.
Oh, isn't
and
that funny?
and then she's like, you have to slow down. So I was just trying to just follow what she was telling me to do. And she's like, she told me, I will show you how to build things. I will show you how to create what you want to create. So it's just like very exciting that I actually had this experience. So I really want to thank you so much for introducing me to this, because this was something beautiful. And I'm
Oh,
I'm really appreciative. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to you, and I'm grateful to the snake plant. And I have tears in
absolutely.
my eyes.
Oh, I know this is what happens. It's such a deep connection that we create, and we don't necessarily expect that. But I'm so happy that that worked out so beautifully for you, and I can't wait. I hope that you keep in touch and let me know how your relationship continues to foster you.
Yeah, because I have had this snake plant for years, and she's tall now. She's in a very big pot and she's tall, but I've never really tried connecting before.
It's amazing. I love it. Wow. Well, and when you read about snake plant, you'll find a lot of information, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate that. Wow.
Yeah, like I said, I'm crying right now.
I know. I know it's hard not to. It's so emotional. Wow. Thank you.
Thank you.
I see Sophie wrote in the chat. She said, I just want to thank you. Day was really tense with my dad at the hospital. Oh, I'm sorry. Just returned in time for meditation, feeling very calm, even fell asleep. Good. So I will listen to it again to feel more so thankful. Oh, sleeping is fine. This is what I tell everybody. Don't worry if you fall asleep. I should have mentioned it earlier, but it's all perfect because you are receiving some very deep healing when you are sleeping. Because what's happened is your mind has stepped aside so that you can just totally receive and restore and renew in the ways that you need to. So it's okay, even if you listen to the recording and fall asleep, you're still receiving more. So don't worry about it. You are getting exactly what you need to. And I'm sorry about your father. I'm sure that's really tough right now. So um, we'll ask for more plant energy to sustain you. And one thing I forgot to mention too about plants, I talked about some ways of ingesting them, but uh, tinctures are such a good way of taking in the essence of the plant, and especially like Bach flower essences, for instance, are one kind, and there's so many other kinds too, but they work on a more emotional level, and sometimes that's exactly what we need from our plant spirits. So you might check that out. Maybe that will have some help for you. Or, you could even just kind of do some research on Bach flower essences, because many times they're a combination of things, not just a single essence. And, even something like Rescue Remedy can be really helpful when we just need some help getting through the day. So best to you, Sophie, and thank you so much for sharing. All right. Is there anyone else who would like to share? This is so special. Oh. Go figure, right? I just love how these our helpers work. They plant seeds. Yep. Good. I'm glad. Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for being here live, and thank you all of those of you who are listening to the recording. This is really lovely, and it's a meditation you can come back to over and over again. Whenever you need something and you don't know what it is, this is a perfect thing to do. It's a great way to ask for help. It's a great way to explore a whole new level of consciousness and expand our world, and it's healing on all levels, and it's opening and activating too. So how can it be? It's not going to be a bad thing at all. Next month, let's see, what are we doing next month? We are. This was another one. I said to the angels, really? Okay, we're doing a quick fix for burning questions. I'm like, well, this ought to be good. I don't even know what we're doing yet, but I'll know the hour before we do it. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And we'll again be doing some meditations from the Hollow Bone of Healing, of course, including the place of love, starting from that. Obviously, we're asking in for a helper if we're going to be asking for a quick fix, but beyond that, I'm not quite sure where we're going, but it'll be perfect no matter what it is. So I hope to see you next month for Angel Healing Circle. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your day or evening wherever you are, and namaste to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm.